Okay, let's start from the beginning. Okay, so, my name is Muad Alamari, and this is a app I'm working on. This is a project for my semester called DuelVault. So, a little background, because it is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Themed app. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a card game where people build decks, summon monsters, and try to, outmaneuver the opponent in a skillful gameplay. And speaking of skill, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Is pretty unique because when you win at Yu-Gi-Oh! When you go to events like I did, um, you end up winning. You end up winning cards. You actually don't end up. You don't win cash. So and this is pretty different compared to other card games like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, where you actually get cash for winning. And I was, I used to play. I used to go to tournaments. And I used to win a lot. And when you win a lot, you start to you start to amass like a pretty extensive collection of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I've stopped playing the game for a while for a whole host of reasons. And they're just when you're sitting on so many cards, they can eventually just became financial assets, because we're going to talk about right now volatility of Yu-Gi-Oh card prices. So here we have an example. Yu-Gi-Oh card prices, they can get crazy. They can jump. Yu-Gi-Oh is a very trendy game where like certain cards are good at certain times, and they just like spike up in price. So here we have an example. It's a card called Daigusto Emerald. From February 9 to February 10, it went from $1 to $28. So you could potentially be sitting on gold and not even know it. So that's what that's what DuelVault aims to achieve. You'll be able to set price alerts on cards, and that's really, you'll be able to manage, like, add cards to your collection. That'll be your virtual collection. You'll be able to set price alerts for them. So this is a personal project, so I'm the only developer. I had to learn a bunch of stuff on my own, but I think I did it using my previous experience to learn a bunch of stuff that I probably wouldn't have learned if I wasn't working alone. So I'm pretty proud of the work I've accomplished by myself. So we have here's the project timeline. It's not really that important. Here are the different use cases. It's not really much going into this. I'll showcase it later. I'll showcase all the use cases. And we have the frameworks that I've used. I used Vite plus React, because I'm most familiar with React, and I was waiting for a project to kind of like really sink my teeth into that can use React like effectively. And the MongoDB, I've used MongoDB before, just because it is the easiest just to get something running, and I wanted to spend more time on the front end than the back end, so that's why I chose MongoDB, as well as its scalability. So here we have like the page routing. This is what the app.js file basically looks like. Here's the nav, the header nav. You have a nav when you're logged in. You have a nav when you're logged out. Very self-explanatory. Here's just like a simple... I'm going to go through it. The next 10 or so slides is basically me showcasing what a new user experience is like. So here we have there's two ways to navigate the homepage: the nav bar and the two buttons. So this stuff is very self-explanatory. We have, a sign up, and you use that information to log in. So after you log in, you'll be redirected to this. You'll be redirected to the collection route. Yeah, the collection page, where you would just get instructions on how to use the app. This is very scrappy. It's kind of, I didn't really have much time to work on it, so this is all I managed to finish. It doesn't look that good, but it's kind of clunky, but we do what we do. So when you scroll down, you get to the add to collection, it's on by default, the add to collection component, and what's also a default value is the search bar text. So the search bar text will start out as Dark Magician, just to give like visual guidance to the user. So they scroll down, they see a search bar with Dark Magician, they see a big card, they see a enticing add to collection, just to make everything simple. And of course, adding Dark Magician to your collection will add it to your collection. So you add this, and at the bottom of the page, this is your collection. You'll be able to search the collection, and works exactly how you'd expect. And here's the collection item. You have the price alert amount, which of course you can change. You can set the price alert. And here we have the UI communicating to the user exactly what's happening with this collection item. You can enable and disable price alerts. That will change this little green orb to a red X. So just giving some visual feedback. And here you can increase and decrease quantity with the plus and minus. So the default price, so right here, the default price alert is 5. And the reason it's 5 is because I decided just to settle on whatever the current price of the card is. You will get a price alert at the price that it is plus 5, rounded down to the nearest whole number. So here, Dark Magician is 29 cents. Plus 5 is 5.29. Rounded to the nearest whole number is $5. So that's what this means. Of course, you can change it, and of course, you can set the price alert to whatever the hell you want, but this is just the default. It will be plus 5 rounded. And here's the price alert. It's enabled, as I mentioned earlier. Here's the green circle. You press the button. You press this button right here, disable alerts. You press the button, it becomes a red X. Now you will not be receiving any price alerts for the card, and here's the UI communicating that. Yeah, that's all you need to say about that. So let's change the, let's for example, change the price alert from 12 to, let's change it from 5, which it was before, to 12. So now we want a price alert when Dark Magician reaches $12. So you put 12 into the input box, you set the price alert, you press the button, and you get the price alert amount for Dark Magician successfully set at $12. And here's an example of an email notification. So when the price alert amount reaches your desired amount, and price alerts are enabled for the card, you will get a price alert. You'll get a notification. So as we can see on this email example, the price alert for Dark Magician. That's the subject. And then here, good news. In the body, good news, the market price for Dark Magician has risen above 12, which we said it before. It has risen above $12 and now $20.27. Of course, I kind of hard-coded it to just to be able to capture this screenshot to showcase like how the app is supposed to work. But no, Dark Magician did not go up, but it is not $20.27. I wish. So that's for the sake of showcasing the valuation tab. Let's add more cards to the collection. So we're adding Raigeki, Triple Tactics Thrust, and Mulcharmy Perulia. And here we have the new collection. We have 11 Dark Magicians, 2 Perulias, right here, 5 Raigekis, and 8 Triple Tactics Thrust. And we have the valuation tab. So this is a way to provide like a visual snapshot of the current cards in your collection. We have a pie chart. We have the total collection value, 26 cards, and this pie chart representing that we have 11 cards less than $1, 5 cards between $1 to $5, 8 cards between $5 and $20, and 2 cards greater than $20. And it's just a way to delete your account. It is a little unfinished, but you know, this is one of the last things I put. It doesn't really serve a use, but well, I mean, it deletes the account and removes it from the database, so I guess that's something. So I styled the website gray and gold. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a lot of gold iconography, so I decided to go with gold as like the primary color. Or is it gray the part? Well, it's black and gray. They're both colors. So I guess yellow would be the accent, would be the secondary color. And the main color would be kind of like gray, black, you know, just to almost make it like the default is dark mode. So I made the web pages responsive. So here's the aforementioned collection item for a card called Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is the layout on mobile. It's a layout on screens bigger than, I forgot the amount I set it to, but this is what it looks like on mobile. This is what it looks like on non-mobile, basically. So this is the main thing I didn't finish was basic user features you would see in other apps. So like user authentication, password reset, email verification. These are basic things that users expect in their apps. So I actually didn't create any of that. I learned Node.js through Udemy, through an instructor called Jonas. I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name. His courses are long, but I also think they're very good. Most difficult part was CSS. And the most annoying part was ESLint I spent hours trying to debug this, but I decided just to settle on making adding that line of code right here, the red arrow, ESLint, disable no unused variables, just to have that. And that's it for the presentation. Now, real quick, I'm gonna go over what the new user experience is like, just kind of go over what I just said, everything I just mentioned. So let's create a new user. It could be anything. It could be Mito. Let's add gmail.com. So it all works how you'd expect. Server error. That's weird. Hold on. Why am I getting a server error? Okay, this is unplanned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is awkward. Okay. Okay, now I'm confused. Mito, do we have Mito? Mexi. Okay, Mexi where? I don't know. There's probably some Mito somewhere. So you type in the email. gmail.com. Invite credentials. Okay, now I'm really confused. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I think it's, yeah. So add to collection. You know, here we have the instructions I mentioned. You scroll down, Dark Magician is the default. You add to the collection, and Dark Magician is down here. And of course, you can increase and decrease quantity to your heart's content. And if you obviously decrease minus, if the quantity is 1 and you decrease the quantity, you have 0 and it just pops out of your collection. But let's say we want Dark Magician back. Let's say, I don't know, 5. Let's add some for the sake of, well, actually, let's start with just Dark Magician. So here you can enable and disable price alerts. So this is what the MongoDB database looks like. I think I already showed it. So right here, yeah, right here. So Dark Magician is here. Price alert is true, it's enabled, and price alert amount is 5. So let's disable price alert amount, and the MongoDB database is going to update. And now it's false, meaning we will not get a price alert. And of course, price alert amount is set at 5 by default. Of course, we can change it to anything we want. Say it's 12. And we go over here. First, the database. I'm being very pedantic right now, but I just want to really showcase that it works. So price alert amount is now 12 right here. So, you know, we already showcased the valuation component. You get a pie chart, you get the selection, total collection value. Let's just add more cards. Let's just add, for the sake of consistency, let's add the same cards we talked about in the presentation. So, Rust, triple talents, not talents. Triple tactics. There you go. Let's add that. And let's add, I don't know, let's add dark hole. Alright, so this is our collection. Let's add a bunch of whatever. Okay, let's see, we have 8 dark holes. You go to the valuation component, and here's all the cards. No, sorry, here's the pie chart. So actually, according to this, we have no cards greater than $20, but we have 14 cards less than $1. We have 3 cards between $1 to $5, and we have 4 cards between $5 to $20. And we have 21 cards, and the total collection value is 65. Here's the highest value card in our collection, which is $14. So, and last but not least, you can delete your account. Again, it's very incomplete, but let's say you just want to delete your account, and boom, you're gone. You get redirected to the homepage. Yeah, I guess that's, let me check my timer. How much time I got? Alright, I got 14 minutes. I guess I can mention one thing. So actually, let's show the cron job. If I can show it. where's DuelVault? Very prepared. Okay. So we have the cron job right here. So it's weekly, and it will, I hard-coded it, so every card, this is where the magic happens, every card is, will give you a price alert since everything went up by $20 according to this cron job. But of course, all I have to do is delete this and it should work normally. But it's just for the sake of testing. So actually, let's do it right now. All right, there we go. Now it should work the way it's intended, and you won't be getting notification. So yeah, this is the cron job. Price alert amount has to be greater than the price alert amount you set. So the current price of that card should be greater than the price alert amount you set, and price alert has to be turned on. So yeah, it's an and condition here. Both have to be true. Let's go back. So something else I wanted to show real quick. I have a little bit of a confession here. Just gotta navigate. Okay, that's right here. So the email address here is called Your Yu-Gi-Oh! Profits. So I actually changed the name from DuelVault to Your Yu-Gi-Oh! Profits, and I changed it back to DuelVault, just for the sake of not, you know, I don't want to give the instructors any confusion. I don't want any grading mishaps. But after this semester is over, I will be changing it from DuelVault to Your Yu-Gi-Oh! Profits. This information is not that important for the instructor watching this, but I thought just for, I don't know, just for the sake of, you know, just, you might have that question. If I showed you the slide and you looked at the email address, you're like, what's Your Yu-Gi-Oh! Profits? So that's somebody else, but no, this is just the change name that I'm going to change the app to after I'm done, because I don't want any grading mishaps, so I just kept everything DuelVault, because Your Yu-Gi-Oh! Profits is a way better name for the site. It's way more descriptive, you know, because you set price alerts, and when they go up in price, you get a price alert. It's like Your Yu-Gi-Oh! Profits. And yeah, I think that's about it. No point wasting any time. Goodbye.